तो तू ताशा मत बजा. Legit happened. तो ताशा प्रथमेश घरसासी और आदित्य चौहान को दिया और फिर फाइनल.
You remember names?
Yeah. चाओ. मतलब they are called BD and Chao, but their legit names are Prathamesh.
Don't do that.
Garsasi.
Don't do that.
And Chao. But then eventually they made our seniors play the Tasha, which was like mean of them because we practiced all.
Tweeted. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Objective Stream. My name is Nikhil. This is Anuj, and you are watching Season 2, Episode 5 of the Objective Stream live. I hope you're watching this live.
You should have said didn't get to play Tasha, not Anuj. That would have been funnier.
Sometimes you don't have to feed the monster. Come on, Google. How many times do I have to do this? If I log in the morning, why do I have to log in again in the evening? Why? It's the same bloody laptop. Alright, and with that, I should give you the disclaimer. We have potty mouths. We say things that are not really appropriate to be said around children or people with sensitive hearing. So if either is the case, please wear earphones, headphones, or turn up the volume on your speakers, or close the stream entirely. I hope it's the third one.
She?
What's she about that?
I don't know, you said potty mouth, so I had to say something shitty. Yeah, that's good, man.
Okay, I'll take that.
And you walked
right into it. Yeah, I did. I agree. I cannot argue with that one. So, yeah. The first topic itself today is a pretty how do I say this? It is it's what is happening? Sorry guys, technical issues, technical difficulties today.
I was wondering why this issue came into prominence.
I'm just posting the link. Go on.
Like, why do you want to talk about this?
Because okay. So
the thing is, there's this guy who spent some time de-Googleifying his life. So he stopped, but one by one he stopped using
Google products,
Google services.
Yeah.
Don't call them products. Product means you buy them once and use them.
And Google has bought you once. So
Google continues to own you.
Yeah, so like after you've bought it, even you continue to own it until you sell it.
So is it a product or is it a service?
It's a product.
It's a service.
No, they've already bought you once.
No.
Yeah.
They continue to buy you every day.
No, they've bought you. They have bought people.
What do poll.
Stop poll. Put it in the comments. Okay, no stop poll.
Is
But
Google
put it in
a
the
product
comments.
or a service?
So put it in the comments and...
No, I'm tweeting this.
Alright, go for it. Alright, but he spent a good amount of time, he's given all the technical details in there. It's not very technical. If you know some of the terms or the basic terminology, the nomenclature, you can get by this article. I want to read out the very last part. So here's a funny response he got from a close email from Kraken. Kraken, I believe, is owned by Google now. Kraken. Yeah. So just as I was writing this post, they are offering me the privilege to keep my user account and receive their news. Quoted, "We can offer you to keep your account with us instead of closing it. You'll get the newest updates about us, our services that you may be interested in." He closes with, "Aren't I lucky?" Well, that is a very sorry state of affairs from a lot of companies, a lot of big companies that are going at this, and they're going at it in the wrong way. So the entire European Union has put out the GDPR law, and here in India we are fighting to get a data protection bill in our lower house, the Lok Sabha, and all of this is happening all over the world, and then there are companies like this who pull this shit.
I think it's in the short term till they figure out what to change
Mm-hmm.
and how to do it.
Yeah.
They will be okay paying the fines.
They got fined pretty hard, and we spoke about that in the previous episode.
It's peanuts.
It is technically pocket change for them.
Yeah. So
It's basically a lawsuit
because
for
if they're
them.
given right now
Hmm.
till they figure out how to get around it, that means other people will start replicating that. So they can't give in. So they have to be like, cool, we'll throw money at it.
Okay, I have a solution for this. It's a temporary solution. It's a band-aid solution, basically. VCs need to tell, if such a thing ever comes up, all our funding is stripped out of your company immediately, no notice period. And that will get these startups to get their heads in the game. They will start giving a damn about privacy.
I don't think so. VCs are
Until VCs step up and give this in.
I don't think you should rely on VCs. You have to rely on government. You can't count on
See. I know we can't count on VCs, but come on, there has to be someone out there
government.
who can, say that, okay,
Government.
you know what, I have a spine,
Government.
I'll do this.
Government.
Which government? There are
The GDPR was passed by a government.
government.
Right?
Yes.
So,
I agree.
So
but,
we have seen an example of the.
but the problem is that although some of the finest products come out of Europe, some of the finest online products come out of Europe, and European engineers and designers,
What's your point?
some of the biggest ones still come from America.
Okay. Its growth is. There's like disruptive growth and there's non-disruptive growth.
Yeah,
Maybe
so
this is non-disruptive.
we have Sugam in the chat, and VCs also don't give a damn about privacy, or they also need all the data as much as the startup wants, and this is mainly to resell this to targeted advertisements. So that is a point there. So
yeah, and it's also like I need your data so that I can give it to someone.
give it to someone else, so I can make more money off the side because our product is free.
This is probably for the last segment of the day, but have you heard about the Fire Festival?
Yeah.
And have you heard about
I have not watched the documentary
Yeah,
yet.
so
We will come to it.
no.
In the okay.
This
go
is related.
okay.
Even I haven't watched the Fire Festival.
hmm.
Because the people behind the Fire Festival, some of them are also behind the production of the documentary.
Oh.
So when you do a scam event and when you do a documentary about the scam event and make money from it,
you're still making money.
from your first scam.
Yeah,
So it's a bigger scam.
it's a bigger scam.
It's pretty smart.
And Netflix also wins in this entire transaction.
Everyone wins. Except the people who bought
Except
fire
the
tickets.
Fire tickets. I think they got refunded very little. And some did not even get refunded. That was the saddest part of the whole situation.
I don't know how people fall for this shit. But it's okay. I've been to music festivals.
Continuing on the topic of privacy, Apple has removed the do not track option from an upcoming version of
it's
iOS
like
because
people were
advertisers
using that
to
track.
again build a profile around that setting. It is creepy to
Right.
the lengths these people can go.
Right.
It is absolutely creepy. So the option, it's there in settings under privacy, and it's a simple toggle, and what that does is tells the browser to tell everyone making requests in the browser that you do not wish to be tracked, and the advertiser or tracker or whatever it is may respect that decision of yours, that choice of yours, or might just ignore it. So that is a pretty bad situation. So Apple has decided to completely remove that option. However, Apple has introduced in iOS 11, I believe, the intelligent tracking prevention mechanism.
No, that was 12.
I believe no. So the first neural engine was in the iPhone 10, so it was iOS 11.
Okay.
Yeah. So it has become increasingly better in iOS 12. Simple, and it works better on the iPhone 10s, 10R, and 10s Max because the neural engine is a lot faster on those devices. So Apple has that going. So this getting removed is not as big of a deal as some people may think,
Right.
because Apple already has a system in place to prevent any misuse of it. So pretty short story there, but a pretty interesting one nonetheless. You have any thoughts on this?
I'm not sure. I don't. So browser is like at the heart of the internet because reasons. But I don't know what's being done. Firefox is doing a lot, like the Facebook container thing that they built, where they're like everything Facebook just stays in this container and doesn't leave. So that was a good approach. But the problem with Firefox is that not a lot of people use it. Then it's again Chrome versus the world, which is again run by a giant evil corporation.
Yeah.
So what do? Brave is an option, but then it's again a niche one, just like DuckDuckGo. So it doesn't help because those people are already quite smart. So I don't know what the right solution is, but again, I think it has to be government regulation of some sort.
See, government policies, regulations are fine as long as these governments also enforce it. GDPR is being enforced left, right, and center.
Yeah.
You can't just have a bill, a law in your constitution and just leave it at that.
Right.
You have to strictly enforce it for it to be useful, for it to matter. Man, unfortunately, that is what is not happening.
Enforcement is a bitch.
Enforcement is always going to remain the biggest issue in this case. Because even if you go and ask someone, they can just deny of that ever happening.
I mean, you have to start introducing certifications in that case.
Oh yeah. No, even those can be spoofed.
No, not that easily.
Yeah.
Not that easy.
We are in India, dude.
Yes, but
You
I don't
forgot.
think it can be spoofed that easily when it comes to
You
software.
forgot. Well, talking about spoofing, NVIDIA tried to spoof
No one actually.
Well, they ended up spoofing themselves. That's what happened. And SoftBank, SoftBanks.
Dude, let me do this. So, SoftBank was a big investor in Nvidia, and last month they removed all of their investment from that particular company. So it totaled to around 3.6 billion when they exited.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what it was when they invested, but it looks like they don't see a roadmap at Nvidia to keep their money there. If they saw something of interest, like some kind of monopoly thing happening there, they would have kept their money there. But looks like no, they don't care about Nvidia anymore.
So this is the entire effect of SoftBank removing their investment. That is
Not much.
it.
$3, $6.
That is it.
Yeah.
This is the effect it had on the Nvidia stock. So, like it from the outside, I don't know what's happening to people who have actually invested, who have money going on Nvidia. But from the outside, this seems like people were already aware that this is going to happen.
Yeah.
They already knew that this is going to come, and
Yeah, people might have noticed
this is
such a huge.
I smell insider trading.
I mean, at this scale, what's legal, illegal probably doesn't even matter.
No, and it's very funny why all of this is happening, because Nvidia overpromised, underdelivered, not by much. The margin and the difference between the promise and what they delivered, the difference is not that high. The problem is the price at which they are delivering it. It is ridiculous.
Right.
I'm waiting. But too late. You missed
No,
it.
but this wasn't an opportune moment for that.
No, but it would have been good.
Yeah.
It would have been good. But I mean, Nvidia, step up your damn game. Step up your damn.
No, I don't think they, unless they do something drastically different. I don't think there's much to do, because whatever engines they have, I'm pretty sure they're running at full gear. They don't really have an ace up their sleeve.
I don't think they need to run their engines with full gas right now, because
They do, because AMD is doing crazy stuff.
AMD is doing insane stuff.
Exactly. So if Nvidia doesn't step up their game, they're going to be people are going to see that 5 years down the line, they're not going to be a big player.
That is not the problem here. So Radeon 7 released on the 7th of February. Okay, exactly 8 days ago.
Point ka hai.
Okay, Radeon 7, okay, for the same price of Nvidia's competing card, NVIDIA's card performs better. So NVIDIA still has the same argument as Intel does. Our single core performance in Intel's case and the overall gaming performance in NVIDIA's case is far superior than our competitors.
Yeah, but that doesn't...
Where both screwed up is pricing. Intel has and NVIDIA has because they've enjoyed monopoly for far too long. Far too long. So that is where the actual problem is.
I think they aren't making crazy enough bets.
They are making money, but unfortunately for them, a lot of their partners are dropping out. The only partnership they still have standing are some data centers and Nintendo. Everyone else is closed. So they really got to change the game they are playing now, because the one they are playing, they're clearly losing at it.
Nintendo has sold quite a few million of their units, and if each one of them has a Tegra, it's quite a lot of money.
So all the upcoming consoles are powered by AMD chips, 7nm chips.
Interesting.
So I don't know where Intel is going with this, because it seems like Intel's main market, which they have constantly taken for granted, which are the gamers, are now shouting back at NVIDIA. We'll see how this plays out at Computex later this year. We'll have a stream for that. You can watch it right here. For now, let's talk about two sad devices. I want to first take this one. The Opportunity mission from Mars has concluded after they could not reconnect with it. I think after a month and a half. There's a gap of a month and a half, right?
I'm not sure.
Yeah, so I believe there was a gap of a month and a half between the previous message from Opportunity and then for now, finally, when it shut down. And I believe there was a last photo as well. I am not very clear on that. But a 15-year mission, the original mission was, the original planning for the mission was much shorter. And
so it was 90 days and then it lasted 15 years.
15 years. So that is an incredible feat of engineering, science and technology. It is just beautiful, and the image the New York Times has picked to put on the banner is absolutely stunning. Have you seen that? Come on. Yeah,
I've seen that.
it is just beautiful. So yeah, that is one. And we had the second sad news is we had an incredibly horrible terror attack in India yesterday. We lost about 40 of some of our finest army people, and it is just devastating. I hope, whoever did this has it coming for them. So that's always a heavy one.
Was like, what a sad time to enter the stream.
Oh boy.
Man, timing, man.
Oh yeah, but actually, Sudarshan has an incredible point. Imagine the reliability of a non-redundancy system.
And it's also about figuring out what to do. Like, they have used non-standard ways of doing things.
Yeah.
Like, once they realized that the wheels are wearing off,
they
changed the motor drivers and remotely upgraded the code because they wanted... it's like they changed how the wheels move.
Yeah, and you have to understand that things are a little different there because the gravity is a little different. So acceleration works slightly differently.
Everything works differently.
Not only because of the gravity that is affecting the rover, also because how it is affecting the rover.
Yeah.
So a lot of variables start coming into play, and it's really tricky. So it's incredible that it even lasted 15 years. That is just amazing. I think is the longest living robot.
Yeah.
On another planet or on another celestial body.
Oh, by the way, the votes are already starting to trickle in. So, during the start of the stream, I asked a question on Twitter.
Is
Is Google a
product
or a
service?
service? Nikhil is saying product. I'm saying service.
Yep.
3 votes say that it is a service.
That's not a sizable.
And 0 people say that it's a product.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I'll take the loss here, but it's not a very big sizable.
Yeah, so why don't you retweet it?
Sorry?
Why don't you retweet it?
All right, let's retweet it. Let's.
दूध का दूध, पानी का पानी.
Let's do that. Why can't I see your tweet?
I tagged you.
Holy shit. You tagged me?
बस क्या? You use a crappy.
No.
Twitter client.
Okay. Retweet it. Let's see what happens. We'll take it again at the end of the show.
Yeah.
But for now, let's move on to Amazon. Two pretty big news pieces of news from Amazon.
So Amazon bought Eero, a company which makes mesh routers. So they started when Wi-Fi mesh. Eero started when whole Wi-Fi mesh wasn't that big a thing, but we could call them pioneers in that particular field. There are quite a lot of players now. Google Wi-Fi being the most prominent one, but pretty much everyone has a mesh solution now. Not all of the mesh routers are compatible with each other because the Wi-Fi folks did not have a standard as such.
Now there is one.
But now there is one. So
Okay.
going forward, there will be things where you can have different mesh routers for different companies work with each other. But that's a little far ahead in the game. Eero has been around for I think 4 or 5 years. I think it was probably more. I'm not exactly sure. But yeah, I mean, this is nice because now Amazon wants at least one Alexa device in each room. With mesh, you have better connectivity as well. So you could essentially have a mesh plus Alexa device coming probably next year.
All of this makes sense to me. I don't know why this does not make sense to Apple.
Why would it not make sense to Apple?
They just closed their entire wireless router thing.
Yeah.
That did not make sense at all. That move was...
Maybe they are going to try something different. I mean, think about it. They bought the Kinect company.
To make the Face ID module. Holy shit.
And
we
that
could
was
be onto something.
Yeah, and that was how many years before they launched iPhone X?
4? 3?
Probably
3 years.
No, it's probably
3 years.
when was it?
3 years.
No, it's probably,
Dude, Connect was a thing in 2014.
No, it doesn't matter when Kinect was a thing because Microsoft bought that division, the patents from the division, and started doing their own.
Okay.
The question is,
Okay, so it could be between 3 to 5.
yeah, so that's how long those guys were working on miniaturizing that. So if Apple has an ace up their sleeve, or if they see some potential in something,
Just put it in your
Yes.
Apple TV and HomePods.
yeah, and that's the thing, right? Maybe it's 5G for Apple. Like,
Oh yeah, because they are doing the whole thing with Verizon and Apple TVs
yeah,
and stuff.
I don't know how it scales around the world, but maybe it's something like that.
Okay, you're on to something here. I will take the bait.
No, this is just me being very
We'll come to it when the news comes.
hypothetical.
Yeah. All right.
But yeah, so Alexa with the mesh device, I'm calling it early 2020. Probably. I'm sure they must have started working already, so it could even be late 2019.
Isn't this the same problem this one had, Nokia had in the beginning, and then Android has now? The fragmentation of the ecosystem.
No, they're like, we have one for whatever you decide you want to use it for. If you want to use it with our existing high quality speakers, we have that echo thing. Then we have, if you're cheap, we have the cheap thing. If you are in your car, we have the car thing. If you want a display thing.
Does anyone have the car one? I want to try it.
So I think it's still like a development kit. I'm not sure if it's available as a product. I don't remember. But yeah, I mean,
Okay.
Thanksgiving this year we'll have plenty. Not Thanksgiving. What's that? Black Friday.
Black Friday.
Yeah.
Black Friday, or I hope a lot happens this year on at Compute. at Computex.
Right.
So I'm very excited for Computex. But another bit of news from Amazon. Amazon has dropped plans for its New York headquarters, for which it was supposed to get a huge deal, which sounded too good to be true. And
no, they would have gotten that because...
what is the whole picture here? Like, from afar, if you had to condense it down.
So the thing is, Amazon was asking for a lot. Some of the folks were willing to give it to it. A lot of the folks were like, this is a stupid idea. Let's not do this. Because these big companies come here and destroy the economy, destroy the livelihoods of existing people, this, that.
Okay.
So because the pricing, the housing market, the prices, they go up so much because of the tech people.
Yep.
That people who already live there, they find it very non-sustainable to keep on living there. So that's bad.
Yeah.
But it does bring in a lot of money because even if you're giving Amazon subsidies, those people are going to end up paying state income tax. Plus, they will be leaving Amazon and starting their own companies, which will pay taxes and all of that. So there's the whole ecosystem factor that comes into play, which gets called out pretty often. So yeah, I mean,
so this was, the whole thing was a money issue.
Yeah, it's a money issue.
But it was a money issue from the people's side, not the company's side.
Both. But then Amazon this is too much of a headache.
Because if they did move into
bad publicity, this.
Okay, where's the mouse? What happened here? What the heck? Whoa. Alright, sorry about that, guys. Second technical difficulty of the day. Okay, so this sounds like a money issue from the people's side and Amazon side if they had gone ahead with this, and I think they would have had to deal with constant protests. Constantly outside the office, which would make it very hard for people who are working at their office.
Yeah.
And also not very safe for them. Oh boy. Skilled. Okay, your comment was held for review by YouTube chat because of the word killed.
Interesting. So one of the recently popular people, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, who is the senator.
No, she's not a senator.
She's the congressman from.
She's the congresswoman from
Bronx and Queens.
Bronx and Rhode Island, somewhere in New York.
Yeah. So she's strongly against that. She's been tweeting a lot about it.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm guessing she is president of the United States in 10 years at the rate that she's going.
No, I don't see that happening, unfortunately. Just because of how America is structured, at least right now.
Yeah, that's the thing.
I don't see that happening. No. I'm not saying because of whatever the political situation is right now, but just how it is right now as a whole. Like, even if you ignore the whole...
That's why I said 10 years, because...
I don't know. 20 maybe. 20, sure.
The people who do Snapchat and stuff, they'll be voting in 10 years big time.
They are voting now.
Not that much.
They are voting now.
Not 16 years and 17 years.
But in 10 years, yes, that number may double.
Yeah.
I take your point.
And in that case, I find it very hard to see them voting for...
anyone else.
Yeah, people like Pence.
Oh boy, no...
Yeah, exactly. So that's the thing, right? The vote bank changes.
Oh yeah. So politics aside, taxes aside, right? What else could have gone wrong for Amazon if they had moved into this headquarters?
I don't know. That would have been a good thing, I guess. Maybe they should try Washington.
Seattle. Wait.
DC.
Isn't Washington DC? No. But isn't there HQ already in Seattle?
Yeah, it is. I was thinking of Washington DC.
Okay. All right. That's enough of geography for this one single episode. Let's move on to some news from India. India proposes a Chinese-style internet censorship, and heck no.
Oh yeah,
we're not going to be having any of this.
Yeah. So they are like, we want to remove hateful comments and content from all these social networks.
Yep, but we all know that
Otherwise-
that is not going to happen.
Yeah, otherwise we are going to just ban them outright. And this is ripe for election season.
Yeah.
Because I don't. Yeah, I mean, it's.
But see, I want you to
Messed up.
understand the problem here. The problem is a very peculiar and very funny one. So the people who are supporting the government for this are the same people who wake up every morning, read a mindless, unchecked WhatsApp forward and send it to everyone.
No. The government doesn't want to ban them. The government
Exactly.
wants to. Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
And
So as long as you are forwarding what a person higher up in the hierarchy wants, or a person, a very powerful bureaucrat or a very powerful businessman wants, it's all well and good. But the moment you forward something which, although may be factually correct, but does not align with someone else's perspective, it's gone. So although it is, while they say that, stuff that promotes communal riots and hate speech and all of that, we all know how this ends, because we've seen this go down in history in many other countries, and it has never worked and has always ended in a civil war. We don't want none of that. So
but the more the government tries to, so the government should be looking forward to Europe, looking towards Europe to draw motivation from GDPR, but the government is instead looking towards China.
China, yep. And I remember in 2015, we had the whole anti-China thing happening in India. There was a huge rise of that sentiment, and people went so far as to, try boycotting Chinese goods as much as they can. And what happened? 2 years later, we are back to using Chinese products again. That did not stop us. And again, rather make allies with these different countries than be enemies with them. Right? Try and promote political alliances with them. And our IT and technology minister, I know he does not watch the stream, but I want him to understand, I want him to realize that this is not a technology problem, but this is a people problem.
No, he doesn't care about that.
This is a people problem. This is a problem.
He doesn't care
of the
about what problem
people's
this is.
attitude
They have
about things.
underlying agendas that they want to get at.
No,
That's it.
no. That's fine. But when they are portraying this to the public, they portray it as a technology
Remember
problem.
demonetization? The portrayal of demonetization changed 4 times in 3 months.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
Yeah.
Right? So they don't care about portraying because they know
Whatever
that,
favors their
they
voter
know
base.
whatever they say right now, they can backtrack on that next month and
Okay.
they can say something more ludicrous
Okay.
the month after that. That's what Trump does. When he's caught lying, he'll lie again, and then he will
To cover
lie
up
again,
that one. Yeah,
and
yeah,
then
yeah.
he will lie again because he knows that the media doesn't
Care
work
about
that way.
Yeah. Okay.
Right. So if the media held him accountable, they would hold him accountable. But the media is more.
Focused on Tide Pods.
The media has a bigger hard-on for the next breaking news and the next whatever than it has about going back and talking about not breaking news.
Yeah.
And that's the same thing as
I
these
agree.
guys, because they'll say
You're right.
something like demonetization is for corruption, and then they're like it's for digital payments, and then they'll make shit up because it doesn't matter what they say. Their underlying agenda is completely different.
Makes sense.
And
You're right.
This is the exact thing that's happening right now.
No, because just imagine if this goes through, this sets a precedent.
It will go through.
For ridiculously scary things.
It will.
That would be deadly and devastating.
But that's the thing.
Because
when
I wonder if they have thought about how this affects economy. Because if they think that this does not, it heavily does. Any comments on the stupid angel tax for early stage startups? Whoa, what?
Yeah, I don't really know much about that. I did see a lot of outrage about that on Twitter, but I don't really care about the startup ecosystem these days.
Yeah, because it's all really ridiculous. It's getting out of hand. Startups, like VC-backed startups, it's
Did
all
you
ridiculous.
read that interview on your story, Narendra Modi's interview?
No.
It's hilarious.
No, I don't read
It
your
was
story.
such bullshit. It was like she was complimenting Modi and Modi was complimenting her, and they were both complimenting each other, and
Okay.
there was no actual discussion. It was cute.
So
stuff.
a typical.
Yeah, a typical Modi interview.
Okay, all right then.
Cute stuff.
Cute stuff. Very good. All right. So and the last one, manipulating an Indian politician's tweet is worryingly easy to do, and you can this.
Yeah, so basically there's a shared Google Doc which is accessible through the link. You don't
by a lot
have-
of people.
Yeah, by a lot of people, so they probably don't have access control on it. But essentially what it does is there's a bunch of tweets there, and all the ministers are supposed to copy paste that day's tweets and tweet
Post
about
them,
it.
yeah.
And then all their followers will like and retweet them, and that's how they get to trending.
Yeah.
But what this particular guy did was he's like, okay, I will stop making the tweets portray Modi in a good light and start making the tweets portray the government in a bad light.
Negative light. And one minister just up and about copied it,
I think
pasted
that
it,
there
and
were 2 or
tweeted.
3 people who did that.
Like, how?
Yeah.
How do you not realize? But I'm pretty sure that it's not the minister who's copy pasting and tweeting it. It's his PR team.
It doesn't matter. It shows how broken the system is.
Yeah. No, that aside,
Yeah.
like we all agree with that. That aside, I'm very sure that it's not the minister who's copy
Yeah,
pasted
but
and
that's
tweeted
the thing,
it.
right?
It's his PR team.
When you say it's not the minister, it is the minister because he was the one
It's
who was
still his office.
No,
It's
it's
still
still
his
his
office.
office and it's
Yeah.
still his
So
responsibility.
he's still accountable for it.
Yeah.
It's not like he's off the hook because someone else posted it. It's still from his office. It's still by someone he hired. It is still coming on his verified Twitter account. So yeah. No.
I didn't say shit.
So Siri got triggered on my phone. That was okay. So okay. So Manas has a point. Ministers in India are unaccountable in the same sentence.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
We deeply apologize
That
for hurting your rightful sentiments.
That's something that people should be offended about.
Yeah, we deeply regret what has just been said on this stream right now, and we apologize very sincerely for that. But this is just incredibly stupid. Wow. So a very simple tip. Instead of hiring someone who's done a social media program or has done their PBAs and MBAs in social media marketing or marketing and stuff like that, do not do that. Hire someone who is actually experienced. Don't just up and about pick college kids who have just graduated. Because hire someone who's done PR. Hire someone who has extensive experience in dealing with people and talking to people. Hire someone like that. Do not hire college freshers. And I see a lot of them working at these jobs and committing these mistakes day in and day out. It is just very pathetic. MKBHD recently had a video just yesterday, I believe, on the same topic, where a lot of celebrities who are brand ambassadors of different phones are tweeting from iPhones.
Yeah,
Because-
no, not yesterday. This is quite old, right?
This was yesterday.
Was it?
No,
Because
no.
he called out Gal Gadot.
Gal Gadot, Anushka Sharma, and all of these people. But he had made an entire video on this yesterday, and Rene Ritchie of iMore had a very, very great conclusion for this whole situation. Social happens on the iPhone. And it's very true. It is very, very true. And on that note, let's move on to our next segment. What are we watching?
I'm watching my item 2 terminal editor these days.
What?
That's pretty much it. I got time for nothing else.
Oh boy. So you
I haven't watched a single episode.
I think last weekend took a heavy toll on you.
Nah, that wasn't it. Man, last weekend was crazy. Yeah, crazy stuff.
Alright, so a lot of shit went down for both of us differently over the last weekend. We cannot discuss any of it
Yes.
at all.
What happens in Pune
Pune stays in Pune. Yeah. All right.
So
So
it should be what happens in Kate Vasti stays in Kate Vasti.
all right. But okay. So you haven't watched anything. Anything.
No.
Oh man.
I watched.
Have you watched the trailer for Frozen 2?
No.
Oh boy. I'm
I
excited
watched
for that one.
MUA's Machayenge 18 times at least. Or maybe that's just one day's count.
Wow.
You haven't seen the video?
No, I have not.
Should we do it on the live?
No,
stream?
we cannot. We cannot.
So he says like मामा बोलेंगे मामा बोलेगी तो कल्लू बन जाऊंगा
वाह वाह वाह
तू चाहेगी तेरा पल्लू बन जाऊंगा मलयालम रहेगी तो मल्लू बन जाऊंगा तेलुगु रहेगी तो अल्लू बन जाऊंगा
All right. You cannot.
and better लड़की पटा बोली तो संजू बन जाऊंगा शादी कर बोली तो सल्लू बन जाऊंगा that is some
Next level stuff.
fine stuff.
That is some
Fine.
next level stuff. I mean, I cannot wait for the day when you have Eminem, Jay-Z, Dre, these guys having a live rap battle with some of our finest guys.
Yeah, and
That day is not too far away, and I am super excited for it.
Yeah, that means
Not even a rap battle, they can just do a bloody show together, and that would be epic.
Gully Boy is going to do wonders, I'm guessing.
Gully Boy is gonna be lit. So, I believe Manas has a recommendation for us on Netflix. So, I'm opening that in the browser. And in the meantime, Wait.
Oh, the world's most extraordinary homes. Man.
Oh, yeah. So, he
Manas, so
says...
this is for people who have money.
Yeah, so like this guy.
Yes. Totally.
All right. So, yeah, that show is very, very epic. It is very, very epic.
Somewhere outside Mumbai and is absolutely insane.
So there's this one guy who got an entire plane and built a house. Like he had it flown in. He had a plane flown in so he can build a house around it. It was nuts. I think it's in the very first season.
Rich people problems.
Rich people problems. That is so true. I have been. I watched season 3 of One Day at a Time.
Right.
Decent season, very decent season. Season 2 is still the best in my books. I caught up on a lot of Brooklyn Nine-Nine episodes 3, 4, 5, 6. I caught up on a lot of Young Justice Outsiders. I caught up on a lot of Star Trek because I missed last week's episode and this week's episode. So I caught it very, very late, and a newer episode will be coming out tomorrow. So I have a good amount of Star Trek discovery going on for me. Not only that, I am also watching the Girl in the Spider's Web. Is that the name?
I have no clue.
I believe that's the name. Girl in the Spider's. Yeah. Girl in the Spider's Web. I've watched 25 minutes of it. But for whatever I've watched in the first 25 minutes, I am liking it. I am liking it.
This is where?
So this is a parallel to The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo.
What?
Yeah.
That was some fine
That
stuff.
was very... that is one of my favorite movies. In terms of... some of the scenes in that movie are just incredible.
Are you talking about
Sweden? Is it Sweden?
Are you talking about the Swedish version or are you talking about
The Swedish version.
Daniel Craig version?
Yeah, the Swedish version. So some of the scenes in that movie are just so incredible. Oh boy, I just love it. So that is something I have going on for me tonight if I get time. Apart from that, it's the usual. You can't sleep. Just start a season of The Office.
Man, some fine stuff.
Mm-hmm. So I don't think we have a disappointing bit today to end on. But the fact that we have to end the stream is disappointing in itself.
Yeah,
So
we have to wait for something disappointing to happen.
yeah. So
we could take a look at the poll.
poll. Oh yeah, let's do the poll. We completely forgot. I completely forgot.
Okay, so I have 7 votes.
7 votes, and majority is for service. I believe that makes it 1 vote for product. Yeah, so 1 vote for product, and the majority going for service. He wins that one, but I still disagree, but I'll take the loss. We'll continue the discussion on Twitter. See you guys later.
Wakanda forever.
Wakanda forever.